Weather continues to and from the West Coast. Outrage across the nation on the latest on the Breonna Taylor trial. And last night, the Stars played Game 3 of the Cup. We have the results for you.
Broadcasting live from the University of North Texas, this is ntTV News at Noon.
Thanks for joining us on ntTV News at Noon. I'm Victor Villagran. Rain in the east and fire in the west. The recent climate across America just seems like one more cruel twist of 2020. Nadia Romero has more.
From emergency responders in Texas plowing through waist-deep floodwaters to California firefighters taking to the skies to release fire retardant on flames covering steep terrain. It's a world of difference as fall officially begins, but offers no weather relief. Floodwaters too high in parts of Texas from Tropical Storm Beta.
There's already some people in there that especially minivans, they can't get out. Small cars and minivans can't get out.
The catastrophic Bobcat fire, one of the largest in Los Angeles County history.
We're not naive to the magnitude of this year's fire season, which, as you know, is historic, simply is not without precedent, or is without precedent. 3.6 million acres, less than 300,000 the entire calendar year last year.
In one state, so much rain, turning streets into rivers. Some Texans waiting for the waters to recede.
The water's pretty high right now, but we've got the ability to mobilize.
And in another state, land so dry, it's perfect fuel for raging flames. In the rubble, a glimmer of hope. But the fleeting moments of happiness don't outweigh the loss of homes, businesses, and life. Firefighter Charles Morton killed battling a Sacramento fire on Thursday, all as the end of hurricane and wildfire seasons are still weeks away. I'm Nadia Romero reporting.
As wild as the weather has been around the world, Denton has been mostly seeing clouds than anything else. Let's check out our first look weather with Donald Britton to see if we'll be getting anything surprising this weekend.
Thanks, Victor. Well, we can see the sunshine peeking through the clouds as we look out at this shot from the Mean Green practice field. Right now, we're experiencing temperatures in the mid-70s, but it feels more like 79, and it's been pretty cool throughout the morning. As we move into the night, tonight's conditions will bring a temperature of 60 degrees, but it'll feel more like 59. Now, tomorrow will bring some warmer weather with temperatures in the mid-80s, and it's going to be pretty sunny throughout the day today. We're actually going to get a lot of sunshine this weekend, but I'll have more on that later on in the forecast. Back to you at the desk.
Well, COVID-19 is shaking things up once again here in Denton. After 2 hours of debate, Denton City Council members officially extended the disaster declaration. This order will extend to December 31st of 2020 and will increase the spending authority to $2.75 million. Another change is that businesses will have the ability to decide if masks are mandated in their stores or not, though they are still strongly encouraged to maintain social distancing. Denton City has approved a $1.34 billion budget for the 2020-2021 fiscal year, which includes the same property tax rate as the current budget year. The average taxable home value in Denton is $256,480. Based on these values, the average tax bill will go up by $44 yearly. After the break, we have an update on the Breonna Taylor trial, a step forward on airline travel, and a potential lawsuit stirring up for our governor. Stay with us.
All right, Monroe, you ready? Monroe. Here we go.
Protests broke out across America last night following the grand jury decision in the case against Brett Hankison. The indictment charges were seen as not harsh enough to justify the killing of Breonna Taylor. Nadia Romero has more.
Gloomy start to the morning here in Louisville. We're at Jefferson Square Park, right next to the memorial for Breonna Taylor that has been building over the past couple of months. This is where everyone gathered yesterday afternoon, hoping to hear that all three of the officers who were involved in that raid at Breonna Taylor's apartment back on March 13th would be indicted, but only one of those officers indicted on a wanton endangerment charge for endangering the life and the well-being of her neighbors, but no one is being held accountable for the killing of Breonna Taylor.
Heartbreak and outrage boiling over into protests following the announcement that none of the officers involved in the operation that led to Breonna Taylor's death were charged directly with killing her. And only one officer faces any charges for his actions during the botched raid on March 13th. The other two officers under investigation were not indicted. Attorney Ben Crump says this decision is an insult to her family and to the community.
We stand here today to say that there is no justification for the murder of Breonna Taylor. And we will go to our graves proclaiming that Breonna Taylor did not get justice from the Kentucky Attorney General's office.
That frustration spilling out into the streets of Louisville as peaceful demonstrations were interrupted by confusion.
Right there, officer down, right there. Right here down this alley.
Two officers shot near one of the marches just before curfew began.
Both officers are currently undergoing treatment. We do have one suspect in custody.
Kentucky's governor calling for an end to the violence, urging people to go home.
There will be many times over the coming days where there will be an opportunity to be heard, and so many people are listening right now.
The anger in Louisville felt throughout the country as demonstrators took to the streets from coast to coast. But attorneys for Taylor's family say those demanding change need to use their voices where it matters most, the ballot box.
Continue to protest, but we got to turn that protest into power and change the laws.
Now we're waiting to hear more information from the Louisville Metro Police Department about the two officers who were shot overnight. Now we know they were shot before curfew started here in the city last night, and they were shot separated from the main protest area that was happening. So we're still waiting to hear if that shooting was at all connected with the protests. Police say they have one suspect in custody, but they are still gathering more evidence. From Louisville, Kentucky, I'm Nadia Romero.
We will keep you updated as this story progresses. Well, some good news for UNT. Let's go live to Trevor Newell on UNT's latest award. Trevor?
The University of North Texas has just received the Higher Education Excellence in Diversity Award. According to Joanne Woodard, the Vice President for Institutional Equality and Diversity here at UNT, quote, "We are very pleased to receive the HEAT Award again this year. This award is a testament to UNT's accomplishments to date and our potential towards becoming a more equitable, diverse, and inclusive campus community." Now, this is the third year in a row that UNT has won this award and will be featured in the Insight into Diversity magazine along with other award winners. Victor, back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Trevor. Well, I, for one, am tired of seeing clouds. Donald, are we going to get some sunshine this weekend?
Thanks, Victor. Victor, we are going to get some sunshine this weekend, but right now we're experiencing temperatures in the mid-70s across North Texas, with 71 in Decatur, 73 in Bowie, and 72 in Fort Worth. Now let's take a look at our temperatures across the state. We have a warm 86 in El Paso, and then 84 in Amarillo, and 73 in Abilene. So it's pretty warm in Amarillo and El Paso. Now let's check out our 7-day forecast. We're expected to get highs of 81 today and lows of 60, and the weekend warms up. Highs in the low 90s for Saturday and Sunday, so some warmer and hotter weather returning. Another front, a cold front, comes in the middle of next week, so we'll see those lows in the mid-50s of next week. Monday and Tuesday bring some highs in the lower 80s. That's it for the full weather. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Donald. With all the great weather coming over the weekend, this may be an ideal time to travel. United Airlines is set to become the first U.S. airline to offer COVID-19 testing for its passengers. Starting October 15th, it will offer testing for customers traveling from San Francisco International Airport to airports in Hawaii. The airline will use rapid 15-minute tests at the airport, as well as a mail-in option to be completed days before departure. Currently, Hawaii requires travelers to quarantine for 14 days after arriving there in conjunction with the airline testing program. The governor plans to drop the requirement if a traveler has a negative COVID-19 test starting October 15th. Governor Greg Abbott has also made headlines recently after now facing lawsuits over his extension of early voting by members of his own party. Abbott extended the early voting period as an effort against the pandemic sweeping the nation. The plaintiffs are currently arguing about Abbott needs to consult the legislature. The last day of early voting currently remains October 30th. We will keep you posted on the details of this lawsuit. Well, it's looking like a beautiful weekend to sit back and watch sports. Justin Ballou has a recap of last night's hockey game and what to look forward to this weekend. Justin?
Thanks, Victor. When we return from the break, I'll fill you in on how the Dallas Stars are faring in the Stanley Cup Final, as well as breaking news regarding this weekend's Mean Green football game. The Tampa Bay Lightning took Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final last night by a score of 5-2. Lightning forward Steven Stamkos returned to the lineup last night after battling injuries throughout the playoffs. Now, he made his presence felt in a big way as he scored a goal into the upper corner of the net right over the blocker of Stars goaltender Anton Khudobin. The Stars struggled in the first period with penalties, and the Lightning power play took full advantage. The Lightning now lead the series 2-1 with games 4 and 5 back-to-back on Friday and Saturday nights. The Mean Green football team was originally scheduled to play in Houston this Saturday against the Houston Cougars, but the game ended up being canceled due to a COVID-19 outbreak among the UNT players. The two teams will try to reschedule the game for a later date in the season. UNT opens up conference play next Saturday night against Southern Miss at Apogee Stadium. That's all for sports. Now back to you, Victor.
Thanks for watching ntTV News at Noon. Join us again tonight at 6 here on North Texas Television.